Edginess. Edginess everywhere. Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my Death Battle prediction videos. And next time on Death Battle, we have Shadow the Hedgehog from Sonic the Hedgehog versus Ryuko from Kill La Kill. La Kill. Now, if you guys have watched this channel before, then you'll know that this was not particularly the fight that I wanted to see. I fully expected this fight to happen, though, because, Ryuko was revealed at the end of Hulk vs. Broly, along with all the other teased combatants, and I knew that Shadow was the most popular opponent for Ryuko. I knew that was the fight that the researchers were pushing for the most, and I know the connections, I understand all of that. I fully expected this fight to happen 100%, and I understand why they're doing it, so I'm not really mad at this fight happening, but I don't know, I am a little disappointed, just because my general philosophy is that if you want to bring in a particular character into Death Battle, and their potential opponents are either characters that have not been used before, or characters that have been used before, and anything can work well enough, then you should go for the new characters. I personally like learning about new characters, and it especially doesn't help that Shadow's been on the show twice before. I like Shadow just fine, but even if they kept bringing back my favorite characters, I still wouldn't be too pleased by it, So, and Ryuko did have a bunch of other opponents that I personally think would have been just fine. Whether or not they would have worked better than Shadow, well, that's your opinion, but my opinion is to always bring new characters whenever you can, as opposed to returning combatants. I do understand the argument, though, that you don't want to look at Death Battles as a string of episodes that need to be formed based on the previous episodes, but you want to look at them as individual fights. So you want to choose the best fights, whether or not they do involve returning combatants. I can totally understand that argument, and to a degree, I agree with it. But I don't know, I guess I was just looking forward to seeing some new combatants, and while we haven't seen a Kill La Kill character before, which is awesome, I guess I would have just liked seeing a completely new opponent for Ryuko as well, but that's just me. However, the other reason why I don't particularly love this fight is just because it doesn't seem like it's that difficult to judge. This is probably going to turn out to be one of the quicker prediction videos just because I don't have too much to say on this one, but yeah, I think Shadow is going to win this fight, and I'm just going to jump into why. So when it comes to stuff like AP and durability, I've seen arguments for placing Sonic characters in their base forms, like base Sonic and base Shadow, at around the planet level in terms of AP and durability. Personally, that's about the cap that I would place those characters on. I can't really buy them being any stronger than that in terms of base form. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine, that's just me. But I can definitely buy the planet level arguments, so no problem there. When it comes to Ryuko, or at least the canon versions of Ryuko, or the canon version of Ryuko, because I think there's at least one non-canon version of Ryuko that's way more powerful, and I don't think Death Battle is going to be including that, but anyway. When it comes to the canon version of Ryuko, I've seen arguments placing her AP and durability anywhere from moon level up to planet level, like Shadow. However, I think there are better arguments you can make for placing Shadow at that level, which could imply a greater level of AP and durability when compared to Ryuko, but even then, I have no idea where Death Battle is going to place these characters at, based on what they've done with Sonic characters before, and they haven't, had a Kill La Kill character on the show before, so, I have no idea how they're going to interpret it. But let's give Ryuko the benefit of the doubt and say that they were around even in terms of AP and durability. Again, personally, I'd be inclined to say that Shadow is more powerful and has greater durability based on what I said before, but again, let's just give Ryuko the benefit of the doubt and say they're around even in those stats. While I don't think there's a huge difference in terms of things like intelligence or experience, at least not to a degree that would substantially affect the fight, whenever I think of the major advantages that these characters could be holding, really all of them go to Shadow. And it's not even saying that Shadow has a ton of major advantages over Ryuko, I just can't think of anything that Ryuko definitively has over Shadow, at least not majorly, Nothing that would substantially affect the fight. Like, if we're looking at things like speed, I'm one of those people that personally believes that characters like Sonic and Shadow should be capable of moving past light speed in their base forms. Again, if you want to disagree, that's perfectly fine, but whatever level they're going to put Shadow at in terms of speed, I think that he should be faster than Ryuko. I can't imagine Ryuko being any faster than Relativistic, even if that, so I think that Shadow should hold the speed advantage in this fight, even when just looking at them in base forms. And while I don't want to say that one of these characters is definitely more versatile than the other, I think in general Shadow just possesses better abilities. Like, if we look at Ryuko's arsenal, of course she has her Senkets, which can absorb life fibers, improving her abilities over the course of a fight. She also has her signature weapon, her Scissor Blade. She has a bunch of different mental resistances that she can pull out, and of course she can use her rage to better herself throughout a fight. That's kind of her thing. Of course she has a bunch of other abilities, but I don't want to go over every single thing these characters have. But when it comes to Shadow, his abilities just seem like they're going to be more useful over the course of the entire fight. Like, he's got his energy attacks, like his Chaos Blast and his Chaos Spear. He can screw with time with Chaos Control, control. Of course, everybody knows that by now, which is still extremely helpful. He's got his hover boots, he can heal over the course of a fight, he's got his chaos spear, which has some wacky properties, and he just has some more crazy abilities like teleportation and screwing with aspects of space as well as time. Now, that's not to say that Ryuko definitively can't defend against at least some of those abilities, but it just boils down to the fact that I can't make a good case for Ryuko over Shadow. When I look at the advantages that these characters definitively hold, it just seems like Shadow has more going for him. I can make a much better case for Shadow winning this fight than the other way around. Keep in mind also that this is just in regards to these characters in their base forms. If we want to look at their super forms, this, in my opinion, is where things start to get really unfair, again in favor of Shadow. On top of the general physical advantages that Shadow just holds over Ryuko normally, it seems like Shadow's super form, Super Shadow, just gives better physical increases. It seems like it's a better super form overall than what Ryuko has. I believe Ryuko has used a bunch of different super forms over the course of Kill la Kill, although I can't remember any of their names, and I don't know if she can actually access any or all of them whenever she wants to. She might be able to, she might not be able to, I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, I can't see any of those super forms reaching anywhere past like a lower level of cosmic power, even if that. Whereas with Shadow, I could easily see him being put at like the mid-tier level of cosmic power, if not even higher. And wherever you want to place Shadow, whether you want to place him at like multi-solar system level, or all the way up to like nigh universal, or universal, if you're into that, but wherever you want to realistically place Shadow, I can't see any of Ryuko's super forms honestly coming anywhere close to that kind of level of power. And speed shares a similar gap, as if I recall correctly, Super Shadow should be capable of moving at massively faster than light speeds, whereas again, from anywhere you want to draw, like whether you want to draw from scaling or super forms, we just visibly don't see Ryuko moving or scaling to anything that fast. At this point, I just don't see any amount of versatility or intelligence that Ryuko may have countering any of those crazy physical gaps. Really, the only ways that I could see Ryuko winning this fight are if she has some sort of crazy ability that I'm not aware of that somehow counters everything that Shadow has going for him, or if Shadow loses his super form before Ryuko does. But ultimately, I don't think either of those scenarios are very likely to happen just based on what I know about the characters and based on how powerful and how fast Super Shadow is. If Shadow did revert back to normal before Ryuko, then Ryuko would definitely have a much higher chance of winning than normal. However, Shadow would still, of course, be in top condition, you know, in terms of strength and stamina, and he may still have a speed advantage along with maybe some other things, but that would definitely be Ryuko's best shot at winning. But again, just based on how powerful and fast Super Shadow is, I don't think that's likely to happen. I think it's just more likely he's going to be able to kill her immediately, if not, you know, almost immediately. I just think that Super Shadow is more than enough to get the job done. I don't see Ryuko outlasting the form as a likely circumstance. So essentially, just to recap, I don't see Ryuko holding too many significant advantages throughout this fight. If I really try to delve deep enough, I could probably figure out what Ryuko technically has over Shadow, but I don't see it being significant enough to turn the tides. And if we're comparing base stats, I feel like Shadow should be faster, I feel like he has better abilities, and I think there's a case to be made for him being stronger and more durable as well. And if we're factoring in Super Shadow, I just feel like it's overkill. So again, ultimately, I do think that Shadow is going to be the winner of this fight, and if he does win, that is kind of cool because Shadow will finally get a win on Death Battle, and Sonic will get a win on Death Battle, like the general Sonic franchise will get a win, which hasn't happened for a while. And I'm sure that I will warm up to the idea of this fight eventually. You know, again, like I still have some issues with it, but I'm just excited for a good fight. I have faith that this is going to be a good episode, so I think we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, that brings us to the end of the prediction video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Who do you think is going to win? Do you think that Shadow's going to win, or do you think that Ryuko's going to win? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.